Can you get by living on just Social Security in Cambodia? Well, it will depend on certain factors such as your monthly spending and preferences. But under the right circumstances, yes, it is possible. Today, friends, I'm looking forward to sharing with you more about the topic of Social Security, including how to check eligibility online. Then, we'll discuss how much Social Security is considered enough. And make sure to stick around to the end to not miss out on the extra 4 things to do before retiring in Cambodia. For new and returning viewers alike, thanks for being here. I hope you find the information in this video valuable. If so, please consider dropping a like and subscribing for more financial freedom and retire abroad tips. Let's talk now more about Social Security, and this is for US citizens. Did you know that the SSA reported that over 700,000 people are currently living overseas and receiving Social Security benefits? So what are the different types of Social Security? There are 5 main categories for Social Security benefits: retirement, disability, survivor, family, and supplemental security income, or SSI for short. Since this video focuses on retiring abroad overseas, we will be primarily talking about the retirement type. So can you receive benefits overseas in Cambodia? I kind of already hinted at the answer by saying that over 700,000 US citizens receive Social Security overseas. But is Cambodia included? The answer is yes. Additionally, Cambodia is also on the SSA's list of countries that can receive Social Security payments via international direct deposit. The specific form to be filled out for Cambodia is called SSA 1199-OP71. To see the form and the full international direct deposit list, you can visit the ssa.gov website. Now you may be wondering how to know if you qualify for benefits. In a nutshell, to fully qualify, an individual must be age 62 or older, plus worked and paid Social Security taxes for 10 years or more. Or in other words, you have accumulated a total of 40 qualifying credits over your working lifetime. One credit, by the way, is worth $1,730 from wages or self-employment income. A maximum of 4 working credits can be earned each year, and 4 credits amounts to $6,920. As mentioned previously, most people will need 40 credits to become eligible for Social Security benefits. Another great way to check your eligibility would be to go online and take a quick survey from ssa.gov. Now, if the results say that you're ineligible at this time, do not fret. The next step would be to create an online account. The results of my survey said I don't qualify at this time, but after creating an online account, I found that I'd actually acquired all the required working credits. So the real reason I didn't qualify wasn't because of lacking credits, but was because of my age. Yes, being too young to receive Social Security payments at this time. Creating your own Social Security account online is super easy and straightforward. No matter your age, I highly recommend taking the time to set up your own account. Let's check out some of the cool things you can do with your account. You can request a replacement Social Security card. If you are not receiving benefits, you can check out personalized retirement benefit estimates. Get estimates for your spouse, get proof that you do not receive benefits, check your application status, and also get your Social Security statement. And if you are receiving benefits, there are many things that you can check out as well, such as setting up or changing your direct deposit, which is very important if you're receiving that international direct deposit to Cambodia. Get a Social Security 1099 or SSA-1099 form. Opt out of mailed notices for those available online. You can also print out a benefit verification letter or change your address. Alright, now that we know payments can be received in Cambodia and covered how to check eligibility, let's jump into the main topic and ask the following question. Will Social Security be enough to cover living expenses in Cambodia? First, we need to know how much to plan for in monthly expenses. Keep in mind that everyone will have different preferences when it comes to different spending categories, so it's good to ponder some questions. For example, do you plan to retire by yourself or with others, such as a spouse or children? How big of a living space do you prefer? Do you have any other spending preferences, such as eating out often or buying Western imported goods? Depending on your answers, you may fall into a lower or higher budget category. Now let's examine those amounts going off of averages. So there are people getting by on $1,000 US or less, but it will really depend on if you're in a major city versus rural areas, the size of your living space, and what you spend your money on each month. So for a very modest lifestyle, a single individual could get by on $1,000 to $1,300 happily. There tends to be a lot of affordable rental options, especially right now in Cambodia too. This means that your budget can stretch even further. For an even more comfortable lifestyle, you could plan on a budget of $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Okay, with that in mind, let's look at the average Social Security payment since 2004. We can see it started at under $1,000, and by 2023, the estimate is $1,900. So I mean, it's been steadily increasing over the years. And SSA.gov gave us an update as of December 2024. First, we can see that nearly 9 out of 10 people aged 65 and older were receiving a Social Security benefit as of December 31st, 2024. And retired workers receive a $1,975 average monthly benefit. Remember that these are averages, but if you could attain that amount in retirement, then you should be set in Cambodia. But please remember the importance of sticking to your budget, especially if you're planning to live mostly on your Social Security. Some ways to help you with that is to eat like a local most of the time, and avoid the very touristy bars and areas which tend to jack up prices on food and drinks. While in Siem Reap, you can get authentic Cambodian food for just $1 to $3. But in Pub Street, again that touristy area, meals can go up to the $10 to $20 range. Also, I must add in here, friends, to please be careful with grocery stores tailored for expats, or those international expat stores. The prices could be up to triple or more than that of local markets. So those imported goods just tend to be much pricier. I'm not saying never to buy or eat imported items, but to stay in budget, it would be better to do it occasionally instead of on the norm. Now I'd like to discuss 4 additional tips before moving to Cambodia on Social Security. So I just mentioned that living within your budget is key, but what if there are other unexpected expenses that suddenly happen? Maybe a loved one has fallen ill, or for one reason or another, you need to travel back to your home country. The chance of needing to visit a doctor or specialist becomes increasingly higher when we get older too. So instead of relying solely on Social Security benefits, you can take additional steps to ensure you have a financial safety net while living in Cambodia. The first is to have an emergency savings account that has extra cash for when, not if, but when, an unplanned expense pops up. It's recommended to have at least enough in the savings account to cover 2 years plus of expenses. For example, if you plan to spend $1,500 a month in Cambodia, times that number by 12, and then again by 2, as a bare minimum. My wife and I love to contribute regularly to our emergency fund, and we do not keep it in the stock market, but instead in a high yield savings account, which is easy to access and typically has a better interest rate than a traditional savings account. Ours is also FDIC insured, which is a huge plus. Next, friends, it's good to create multiple sources of income. This is in addition to your monthly Social Security benefits. Some examples include retirement accounts in the stock market, such as 401ks and IRAs, or other business or investment income. My wife and I currently have 2 rental properties in the US, which gives us nice passive cash flow while living abroad. No, it doesn't have to be real estate. Just find something that interests you and try to make money with it. That leads us into the next tip, which is to be careful when starting a business overseas. It's important to be careful when investing in business, especially when in a country with different laws and regulations. Please make sure to fully assess competition, and you'll need to have a competitive advantage before jumping into new business ventures. Also consider low startup cost options such as a YouTube channel or blog. Last but certainly not least is to visit Cambodia, the land of wonder, to get a feel of it for yourself. It's great and insightful to see other people's experiences, but you won't fully know if it's a good fit until you go there first. Don't stay too short of a time frame either. Get to know the area or areas you're interested in, and even scope out potential rental options. Of course, try out the different cuisines and talk with other expats and people living there. So what are your thoughts about retiring in Cambodia on Social Security? Let us know in the comment section. And if you found the information and experiences shared today insightful, please help this video out by dropping a like so more people can see it, and subscribe for more living and retiring abroad content. Stay safe, friends, and I will see you next video.